Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at belisiofoods.com/careers.
Happy Monday, everyone. And we are here on a kind of dreary Monday, but 'tis the season. We are a few days from Thanksgiving.
Which is just crazy. Just
Can you
crazy. No,
believe it?
this month has flown by.
It has. I mean, it was like so weird because I kept thinking, okay, well, it's almost Halloween. And then after Halloween, we'll start getting into like thinking about Thanksgiving. And that was like yesterday.
Right. Right. And now it's like, oh, we're 3 days away from Thanksgiving, which then a month later, it'll be Christmas.
Yeah, like exactly a month from today is Christmas.
Insane.
I don't even understand it. But anyway, do you all understand it? Because we certainly don't here on the program. But welcome. It is a Monday, and we have a very special guest here in the studio, and we're going to be talking about something very fun coming up. So first off, could you introduce yourself, please?
Absolutely. So my name is Dan Dunham. I grew up in Southern Vermont, moved to Orlando, Florida when I was, 20?
Wait,
and then,
that's a shocker.
Right? There's a whole story. Well, I got plenty
He's
of
got
stories
a story.
for you.
We love stories.
And then in March of 2015, moved up here and started our own business. We created an entertainment-based business that has morphed over the last couple of years, obviously because of the times changing and what we find is our specialty. But yeah, so in a brief shell of what we do, Wolf Mountain Entertainment. We are on social media. We're on Facebook. We have our own website, Wolf, WOLFE. We're a live entertainment production company. We started off as a little bit more of an event planning.
Okay.
We bought an old high school. So if you're familiar with Pomeroy,
We just bought an old
right?
school.
Why not? Why not?
Why
yes,
wouldn't
it's
you?
yes, it's haunted. I will say that. That's kind of fun.
Well, of course.
Absolutely.
But do you embrace that?
Oh, 100%. Because we just did our 10th haunted house this year. Yeah.
Fun. Well, we can talk about that too.
Right.
Yeah.
I got all sorts of stuff for you.
Love that.
So to backtrack a little bit, Orlando, which Walt Disney World.
Yeah, of course.
My husband and I were Walt Disney World performers for many years.
No.
Yes. Parades and shows. Towards the end of the time that we were there, he started in 1991. I started in 94. Attractions, all that sort of stuff. He started in entertainment. Like I said, parade shows. Towards the end of the time that we were there, we were both in administrative roles. So with that being said, moving up here, that's something that's very, very near and dear to us is the entertainment stuff. So we started off knowing that first and foremost, we were going to do princesses and superheroes and mascot characters that we would rent out to parties. We have the performers, people contact us. And that's always a big draw.
Yes.
Especially in the area where we are. There's a lot of people who will never be able to make it down to Florida because it's not cheap.
Don't get me started on that. So I have a theory, and I've said it here on the program before. So, and this is not getting political. This is just, hear me out. The government pays for a whole lot of stupid crap. The government, every child should get to go to Disney.
Oh, 100, absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
Every child that wants to go to Disney should go to Disney, and it should be paid for by the government. Because they pay for all kind of stupid stuff, and every child should get to pay to get to see Disney.
Growing up, my parents kept saying, they're like, oh, we'll take you and your sister when you're 5 and 10. I'm the older. So then it was 10 and 15. It ended up being after I moved there, I was 20, my sister was 15, and we finally were able to go. Now, of course, the nice thing was there were some discounts involved for my parents because I worked there.
Yes.
But they would then come
all the
2
time.
to 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Most times they would stay at some of the hotels. Every once in a while they'd stay with us because, it was just fun. It was a nice vacation for them. So being entertainment based, and this has just been a passion of mine. I was in school shows when I was younger. So now all of a sudden I'm going to start my own company.
Yes.
Bruce and I started this with the idea of, we're going to bring a little bit of magic to people who might not be able to go to Florida and meet Cinderella or Belle or
Because it's 10 grand every time you
Right.
think about going to Disney.
right. So we started off, like I said, I think our official opening was either May or June of 2015. We've upgraded stuff. At this point, I think we have over 150 different characters that we offer to parties and events. So
Fun.
yeah, it's a true passion, and I'm very particular about the way things look. I'm not going to buy something off the rack because anybody can do that.
Yeah.
I want
Your costumes
wigs.
aren't bought on Amazon?
Correct. I want them to look right. Because kids believe. That's when you want them to believe.
It is, and considering you've been there and done that and worked at Disney and
Correct.
realized how intricate those costumes and things are and how much the human being inside the costume makes a difference.
Correct. You have to be able to sell it. And,
Yeah.
We, like I said, we have probably about 150, and a bunch are actually being introduced this weekend because of Christmas Fest.
Which is why you're really
Which is
here.
why I'm really
but
here.
we have fun stories
right,
to talk
lots
about
of
also.
lots of fun stories, which we'll go back to the haunted house and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So, Christmas Fest took shape last holiday season.
Okay.
So I work in Athens, along with having a full-time job in Athens. I have a full-time business that we run as well. But last year around the holidays, the market on State was quiet. And I get it because I'm as guilty of it as well as I will buy stuff on Amazon. I will buy stuff.
Don't we all?
Right, because
I mean, we do.
it's easy.
Yeah.
Why not, find this, have it shipped to my house, and I don't have to worry about going to a store
Correct.
but the nice thing is you get to physically touch it. You get to physically try stuff on.
100%.
So last year, the last couple of weeks before Christmas, it was very quiet in the mall.
Okay.
Very quiet. There's a few big stores. There's a few, mom and pop places, but it was just quiet. So
Sure.
last year, talking to my coworker, Dawn, she has a jewelry business that she does via Etsy and, online, and she sells some stuff in zones.
Okay.
But she was doing earrings and I can't remember where, but they were doing a Grinch fest. So it was Grinch characters.
Cute.
So, well, let's not limit ourselves to just the Grinch, even though the Grinch is amazing. Let's open it up to other classic characters. Now, I will say I'm almost 50. So some of the characters that we are introducing this week are Heat Miser and Snow Miser. So we have basically, okay, so I get off on tangents. So tell me to slow down.
No, you're fine.
So the
more you talk is the less I have to.
So the vendor fair, craft fair part of it, I currently have 78 spaces available, and 66 of them are full with over 55 different vendors.
Awesome.
Correct. Which I think is absolutely amazing. I never expected that this was going to turn out to what it has become.
Yes.
So, there's so many different things. It's not like the same people selling the same stuff. There's jewelry. There's one that I can remember off the top of my head. It's Blind Date with a Book, which seems to be very popular right
Yes,
now.
it
I
is
have
huge.
another vendor who does healthy dog treats, which, being a dog owner, I will be
Hello.
stopping there, of course. But we've taken over. There's a total of 51 spots in the hallways of the mall. And then because Spirit Halloween has officially moved out, I was able to open up probably, I think it was another 20 spots in there.
Awesome.
So if there is anybody watching, listening, that is interested, there are vendor spots available. and I'll probably say this a few times, our website, wolfmountain.com, WOLFE,
Yes.
wolfmountain.com, there is a tab that's Christmas Fest. It shows a
Okay.
map of where the empty spots are. It has a form for everybody to fill out. It's $25 for a 10x6 spot,
Okay.
which is a very decent sized spot.
Yeah.
So we just want to have as many people in to offer up some really cool things. We have one lady who paints, and I got a picture of a Santa Claus painting, which is extraordinary. I'm not an artist like that, but you know what?
Right.
I can bring all of these people together, which is absolutely
point.
right. So I think everybody's been very excited about it. Even some of the stores in the mall are getting into it. Peddler's Junction will be doing some giveaways that day, so they've got some stuff going on with that. The bakery, it's called Bakery 323. The owners of Zones, it's their son who has started it. And I'm not saying it because I work there and I know him, but his stuff is incredible.
Okay.
Oh my God. So he's got a Letters to Santa, which
Love.
anybody that writes a letter to Santa and drops it in their mailbox gets 2 free cookies. I had artwork drawn by a very good friend of mine who we worked with at Disney of all of the characters that will be appearing this Saturday. And they took the picture of Santa and they took the picture of Rudolph, and they're printing them on cookies. So it will literally be part of our Christmas Fest logo that these kids will receive. And I think he's planning on doing it all the way up through like the 20th of December. So it's exciting. So we've got 55 plus vendors with spots for more. We have some local musicians who will be playing from 10 to 2. We have 13 different Christmas characters. We have Santa, we have Mrs. Claus. So Santa will be making appearances. Mrs. Claus will be doing some cupcake decorating with the kids. They can sign up day of the event. There's 3 different time slots throughout the morning.
Okay.
Then periodically throughout the day, these different Christmas characters will be appearing. They won't be there all day, but on our Facebook page, our Instagram, our website is the times that everybody will be appearing. So we have Yukon Cornelius and Abominable and Rudolph. We have Jack Frost from Rise of the Guardians. We have the Grinch. We have Martha May. We have Cindy Lou Who. We have the conductor from Polar Express. And then we have Heat Miser, Snow Miser, and Mother Nature.
This is so
So obviously it is.
I'm sorry. I love me some Cindy Lou Who.
Right? And I mean, I'm a little partial to, The Year Without a Santa Claus, so Heat Miser and Snow Miser. But it's different stuff.
Yeah.
So it'll be very exciting for all of the kids. In years past, so the first year that I was actually at Zones, they always did a trick-or-treating in the mall.
Yes.
And the first year that I was there, I had been there since March. So I was like, gets to be Christmas time. And it's like, okay, what can we do? And I was like, well, let's throw in Spider-Man and Cinderella so people could stop by and get their pictures taken with these characters before. By the day we got to the event, the post that we had on the Zones page had been shared 13,000 times. In the first 15 minutes of the event,
Oh, no.
I remember
You
looking
created
at
a monster, didn't you?
Oh, absolutely. I looked at Dawn and I said, "Is this usual?" And she's like, "No, absolutely not." She said,
This is not a
This
thing.
is not a thing. She said, in years past, it's been, here's a family we know. We can talk to them for 5 minutes. Oh, here comes another family. In the years that we have done it, there has probably, I can safely say, at least 1,000 people in that mall for the hour of the trick-or-treating.
Yay.
And it's absolutely wonderful to see the amount of people.
that.
And of course, everybody gets dressed up. And we've done it, 4 or 5 years now. We didn't end up doing it this year because the day that they decided to do it was a day that we did the haunted house. So we weren't able to make it happen. But we've had, was it 2 years ago? Three Halloweens ago was the biggest year ever. We had, I think, 15 different Halloween or 15 different characters there.
Wow.
Sanderson sisters and Superman and Snow White and it was just
Fun.
It was. And to see the kids and they get so excited because going back to what I said earlier, our stuff looks right.
Yes.
It just looks good.
It's real. They're real.
And they really are. And there was a little girl that came one year and she was like, "I've been waiting my entire life to meet you."
Stop it.
Right? And you sit there and you're like, okay, this is why you do this, because these kids believe and they're just absolutely wonderful. So again, going back to our haunted house, we bought the old Pomeroy Senior High School. We actually bought it when we still lived in Florida. So the first time I actually saw it was the day that I moved to Ohio.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Right? I'm a little crazy. But we have fixed it up. We have made it into our business and our home. So, and I said earlier, it is haunted. We have had people who have worked the haunted house who have not been around anybody and felt people touching them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. So
all the stuff.
This was year 10. The first couple of years we were in partnership with another group, and then we ventured out on our own because I'm a control freak and I like to have all pieces and parts. But it was amazing, and it starts off. This year was the longest that we had ever done. We did part of the main room that we have on the first floor. Then we go up to the third floor, and there are classrooms that were pretty much untouched. There's actually one of the classrooms that there's stuff written on the chalkboard that you can't erase. And it was from like one of the last days that it was a school, and it's talking about world leaders at the time. So it was Roosevelt and de Gaulle and you can't erase it. And I think it's absolutely incredible. And I will never erase that off that chalkboard. So then after they did the rooms upstairs, they went all the way down to the basement, and the basement itself is just creepy because it was an old school, and that was where the incinerator was.
Yes, the boilers and all the things that made noise.
And the big giant fan, which got all of the heat up to all of the rooms. So it looks like, what you would expect.
Like it should be in a Saw movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Or where they would, cremate bodies.
Yeah.
So it's like you're there and you go, but... so we did.
You never know.
No, that's why we don't go down there often, but I love it. This year, actually the last 3 years we've done, most of the run has been like a typical haunted house, but then we've also done a Christmas themed haunted house. So the first year, which destroyed people, was I had a zombie Santa. And you got to get your picture taken with zombie Santa at the end. And my friend Kelly, who she was there helping take pictures. And I told her, I said, on the count to 3. And on the count of 3, Santa and the Grinch could do stuff. So they had air horns. And so everybody's pictures are, because they were absolutely terrified. It was absolutely incredible. And I still giggle about it to this day. But I can't do that every year because then everybody knows what's going to happen.
Everybody would know.
So it's got to, we change the path up every year. We change the characters up every year because we don't want it to be the same.
Sure.
This year we actually had people come from Charleston, which incredible.
Yeah.
So, our name is getting out. So it's exciting. It's exhausting, especially this time of year because we have so much going on.
Sure.
But it's absolutely wonderful.
So, well, we had a whole scandal here in town last year. Anyone want to talk about Krampus? No.
No.
Okay. We had a scandal here last year. Mm-hmm. So I like that you are promoting imagination and fun because, well, let me just say it. I'm going to get myself in all kind of trouble. So our public library last year tried to do pictures with Krampus, like as a kind of a fun fundraiser situation. Everybody does, pictures with Santa. Mm-hmm. Let's do. Well, they called for the resignation of all the, library people, and the devil was there, and the world came to an end over a movie character of what? Yes.
Yeah.
Though, people lost friends over it, and it blew up. It broke Facebook, like the whole 9 yards, all over some silly pictures that somebody wanted to do with Krampus. So I'm glad that you can do some fun things down there and not, get taken down the road for it.
Well, we didn't really advertise that Zombie Santa was going to be there, but everybody loved it. But it's
hilarious. It's just imagination and fun. Like,
it's creativity.
Oh, for the love of God, people, get over yourself.
It's about having fun.
Thank Thank you.
That's
Just
truly, and
whatever.
that's
if you
what
think
we-
Krampus is fun or Zombies
Right.
and Santa is fun, cool. If you don't, cool, don't go. Like-
many years we've had the haunted house, and people have come into like, is it going to be dark? Yeah. Is it going to be scary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that the
are
point?
people going to jump out at me? Yeah. So yes, that's the point. So you want to set up the expectations for anything that we do, and I know I'm totally launching in on different stuff because we're here to talk about Christmas, but we'll get back to that as well. But it's making memories for anybody involved, whether it's the people that are coming to the event or the people that are facilitating the event. So
Sure.
going back to Christmas, I want this to be as big and as exciting as it possibly can be for everybody that's
Absolutely.
involved.
Yes.
So, we've made little digital frame, artwork that showcases each of the vendors that's going to be there, if they have any social media links, what they plan on selling, so that they get advertised as well.
Yeah.
We have it. I just want it to be something for everybody, and tying into the fact that what are most of these people? Small businesses.
Right.
And we're doing it on Small Business Saturday.
Exactly.
So the mall,
Perfect timing.
I expect that it's going to be hopping for the few hours, for the 6 hours. We're going to be doing it 10 to 4.
Okay.
So I overexert myself in making things as best as I possibly can.
Thank you for that.
But that's what it should be. There's many times that when you think you have everything planned, add something else, because it's that extra step that's going to make people feel
that extra makes it extraordinary.
we all absolutely. Oh, I love that. I'm gonna have to put that on a shirt. But
Yeah.
there's many times that, and everybody will say it, you go to different things and like, it's so great, and they trip at the finish line,
Yeah.
that there's something that was missing.
Yeah.
So first of all, I appreciate, I believe it was Olivia that reached out to me.
Yes.
And
yes.
I love this. I love the fact that I am getting to talk about what we do and what's coming up, because
Absolutely.
this is
That's why we're here, by the way.
this is exciting, because I never expected, when I thought about this a year ago, that this was going to turn into what it's become.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that I'm here doing this, talking about everything that we do, which is absolutely incredible. The Athens Messenger is writing an article on us about this. So it's just very exciting to know that what we're doing is making a difference, and it's being recognized by people in the area.
I think, well, because it is a lot of hard work, and
It is.
It's nice to be appreciated.
Yes.
Even though that's not why you're doing
No,
what you're
absolutely
doing.
not.
You're doing what you're doing for good for the community.
Correct.
And for local vendors and all of that. And by the way, let's just talk about the talent that we have oozing out of this area.
Oh, absolutely.
You go down to, one of my favorite events, of course, we own the brewery here in town.
Right.
So Paw Paw Fest is a big one,
Yep.
because we always do the Paw Paw beer and whatnot. But I mean, you go to the Paw Paw Fest and you can't even get through all of the local vendors that are there. And they're all doing the most amazing,
Right.
different
right.
things.
Yes.
And you're just like, wow. And, we didn't. Our community leaders, let's just say that, have started this like First Thursday thing here in Jackson, like a street fair deal. And
Yep.
I mean, the vendors that I'm like, what? Who,
Yeah.
where?
The-
How did you think of this?
And that's
They're so talented.
having the internet and having social media allowed, like, that's all I did. I just posted it on our social media.
Sure.
And the fact that I have over 55 vendors that saw
And they're
my
all
post.
doing different cool things.
Right.
You're just
lady
like,
that makes rugs, a lady that does like fire burning. Like, I'm so excited to just walk around and see some
for
of the
yourself.
stuff. Right. I'm like, because I'm like, okay, I've read all this. I've seen what everybody has said that they're going to have. And I'm like, this is really cool.
Yep.
So as wonderful and horrible as social media can be at times, this is absolutely fantastic because all of these people are going to be able to come together and hopefully have a very successful day because there'll be so many people that will want to come out and see. Again, November 30th, 10 to 4 at the Market on State, 1002 East State Street in Athens, Ohio, right behind Texas Roadhouse.
Formerly known as what? The Athens Mall?
Right.
What did we call it? The Athens Mall.
As far as I've been up here, I only know it as the Market on State.
Okay.
So that's where,
All right.
yeah, one of the newbies from this area. I'm like, yeah, that's where.
Oh, he's from Vermont.
I'm from
he
Vermont.
Says, you know, things like that.
We're creative in Vermont. We're a bunch of hippies. It was fantastic. But so then you also started talking about the talent that's up here, which comes something I have completely not talked about. One of the other things that we do at Wolf Mountain, we do shows. This past summer we did Our Town, which is a beloved classic. I really knew very little about the show.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely incredible. A week ago today, as a matter of fact, we were doing an interactive murder mystery at Latitude 39 at Baker Center on OU campus.
Okay.
So we're doing 3 to 4 shows a year. We're actually in rehearsals. So this coming Saturday, we do the Christmas Fest. Next weekend, the following weekend, we do our Christmas show. And then, so it's exciting. It's adults and kids, and it just brings so many people in the community together.
What small communities should be doing.
Right.
I call them my Hallmark Christmas moments.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
where the town actually comes together and, you know, does things. And that's what this weekend is.
It'll be about community. And
why do you have to leave town? Go to the mall in Athens and shop.
I have people coming from as far up as Columbus to be a part of this.
Yes.
Which is, I'm so excited.
That's amazing. Good for you.
So I've got people coming in on Friday afternoon to start setting up, and then the rest of them will come in on Saturday, and we'll kick things off. And I just expect that it's going to be crazy. It's going to be in a good way, in an absolute good way.
In the best way possible.
So yeah, it's magical. And that's part of our slogan is bringing magic home, because it's small town. It's different things that people get to do and people get to be a part of. And it goes back to what I said earlier about creating memories and magical moments for not only the people who are coming to an event, but also the people that are in an event.
Yes.
So, we did Steel Magnolias a few months ago.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And it was absolutely wonderful. And when you see...
Was Dolly Parton in it?
No, but my Malin, no,
Julie
my
Roberts?
Truvy, she was fantastic. My Malin, who was the Sally Field character, her daughter is actually a type 1 diabetic.
Okay.
So it really, really, really pulls from real life experiences, which is just fantastic. We've done, I am more of a comedy person, so we've done a couple of serious shows back to back. So we're going to step away from the serious.
We're going to lighten this thing up a little bit.
We got to laugh a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's just fun. And Christmas is going to be great. And Bruce and I went yesterday, and we decorated the tree in the mall. So that was fun. And I'm so looking forward to this weekend, because it's just going to be neat.
Well, and what a better way to, and honestly, the weather's going to be very Christmassy, I think.
Yeah.
What a better way to start off. You're going to have Thanksgiving under your belt.
Yep.
To start your Christmas celebration of that whole month than by going to this in Athens
and
on Saturday. And supporting local people.
It's easy. Like I said, I do it too. I'm guilty of it, shopping on Amazon, shopping online. But how creative will it be to find something at this vendor fair, this craft fair, that really may mean something to the people that are going to be there. Oh, one of the other things, the Athens Sheriff's Department is going to be there. They're also going to be collecting toys for the annual toy drive.
Okay,
And
perfect.
the Grinch will be passing out hot chocolate. So it is my Grinch that will be also be, doing a couple sets later on, but
Love
he'll be
that.
there all day long passing out hot chocolate to everybody. So there's so many things that, like, even the businesses are getting into it to want to.
It will be magical.
It really will. And I foresee this growing and being bigger and better every year.
Love that.
I've learned some stuff that I would like to do different. So next year, or I should say the next time that I do this may not be all the way a year from now.
Oh, you heard it here first.
Right? Because, if we didn't have so much going on, I think another fun one would be to do something around Halloween and have some movie monsters there for people to get pictures with. But with the amount of stuff that I have going on around Halloween, that may be a few years away. But we could definitely do one around the springtime with the Easter Bunny and princesses, and it's just fun, and I'm so excited.
You mean it's fun to use your imagination
Right.
and be able to have some fun
And be creative.
Oh my gosh, it's what a novel thought.
I'm so excited just to like I said, to walk around and see what everybody's got. I'm like, I'm gonna be a pain beyond. Is your stuff set up yet? Can I see? Can I see? Can I see?
Hey, can I
We
touch
have a food truck coming, I think from up near Columbus, that's a Mexican burrito food truck, but they also do custom salsas. So like there's just gonna be
Something for everyone.
really. And then we've added the stuff because not all kids want to go shopping. So that's why we've got the characters that'll be there. We've got the cupcake decorating with Mrs. Claus.
Oh, they'll have so much fun.
Right. And I would love for everyone that comes, if they had one toy that they could give to the sheriff's department.
That would be great.
That would be absolutely amazing. And it doesn't have to be anything expensive. Stop by the Dollar Tree or stop by any one of those places. Buy something from one of the vendors. If they've got little crocheted stuff or little toys for kids, grab one of those. I know that I have a toy seller, collectibles and stuff, probably a little bit more than something you'd want to don't. But if there's something that one of the vendors is selling, not only are you going to support the vendor by buying from them, but you're also going to help with the sheriff's department toy drive.
Yes.
I just think there's so many different people, and I would love in the years coming to have more community groups come and do those type of things where they're collecting stuff for the betterment of the community.
And I love that. And I think one of the coolest events, and I don't know how long this, how this started, but the whole Touch a Truck thing, I think is brilliant for so many reasons. It entertains, children and adults alike. But I mean, we went out and did the open house at the Highway Patrol station a couple of years ago, and they had a new prototype for one of their cruisers. They were testing it out, like all different lights and things like that. So one of the patrolmen and myself got in the car, and she and I. We were like idiots. And because she was like, I don't know how to work this thing either. So we were just like kids in a candy store touching things. And I'm like,
as long as you're not going to break it.
Right. Like, I'm like, but how cool is this? And the fact that kids get to meet first responders and realize that they're human beings, not
correct.
People that aren't untouchable. And the fact that they can get to see how all of this stuff works, maybe it would spark one of them to be interested in being a first responder.
The Pomeroy Library actually,
so cool.
I think October, they did a Touch a Truck. They did their first Touch a Truck.
So fun.
And we had Bluey and Leonardo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They made an appearance there.
Awesome.
So not only did the kids get to see the trucks and sit in the trucks, and they had, some of the lifts, that they could do. They also got to meet some of our characters.
See, and that it just
and
all works.
Right.
hand in
And
hand.
it's just fun when you get to do, when the different groups in the area work together to create something magical for the kids, for everybody. I mean, I'm soon to be 50 years old. I'll be 50 years old in February, and I'm a 50-year-old child, because this is the stuff that tickles me.
Well, don't, I mean, listen, a child's heart and seeing things through a child's eyes, we should all be doing that.
Right.
We all just get jaded and
Yep.
and grumpy as we get older.
Yep.
And if we could just live that way. So here's one for you. You'll appreciate this. And I'm not into like comic books or anything like that. When my husband and I were in Columbus one weekend, we were staying at the Hyatt downtown. Well, there's the convention centers
Okay.
right there. They were having some comic
Right.
con something or other, and I wasn't paying 1 ounce of attention. My husband is just dying laughing at me because I wasn't paying 1 ounce of attention. We get in the elevator, and I look up, and there's this Darth Vader that is like 10 foot tall guy, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm in the elevator with Darth Vader. This is so cool. And of course, the selfies start and whatever. And he was very gracious about it. But I was like a kid in a candy
Absolutely.
store. And I don't even know why. But it
Because-
was so fun.
And when it looks right.
He was huge.
Right. So that was a few weeks ago. The Grinch, my Grinch, that will be making an appearance on Saturday, he was in the mall because he works for the sheriff's department.
Okay.
And he was doing some local school visits.
Sure.
So he stopped in and we took some pictures. And there were these 2 teenage boys, I'm going to say late teens, that saw, and they were probably 50, 100 feet away. And I heard one of them say, I wonder if I can get my picture. And I was like, if you guys want a picture, come on over. That's what we're here for.
Right.
So to have
Just because you're
T-
50.
right.
I know. And I know you're too cool for school,
right,
man.
but oh
if
my
you
God,
want a picture,
they
cool.
were so excited because he looks good.
Yeah.
And he looks fantastic. And it was just very exciting. And they were like, oh my God, thank you so much. And it was just fun.
Because they're harnessing their inner child.
Absolutely. And it's okay. I mean, I think we all go through it at the time where we're too cool for those kind of things.
Oh yeah.
Then I think one of the things that brought back that spark is working at Disney for so long. And the amount of photo albums I'm in all over the world are probably insane because back in the
Right.
day was cameras where you got the pictures developed. This digital stuff, which is absolutely fantastic,
But nobody has a picture to look through anymore.
Right.
Except for
You
going
don't
like
have
this.
that, right? You don't have the album that you can, ruin the pictures
We
because
should all print them
Oh,
out.
And it's just it's fun, it's fantastic, it's exciting. So and then one of the other things. So I'll have to go back to Christmas Fest before we're done and just because I keep remembering different things.
Yes.
At 11:30 that afternoon or that morning, Santa Deadpool is going to do a 'Twas the Night Before Christmas.
Love that.
Right.
Love.
Literally, it's just going to be a crazy, fun, silly event that is just going to bring all these memories and things to everybody
Yes.
because it's just
Come on, adults, get over yourself.
Right?
Have some fun.
So let's see. All right, let's go back to so 55 vendors with spots for more.
Yes. Oh, how do people sign up if they want to?
Our website or Facebook. Most of the Facebook posts, if you see any of them, everything has a green background. I tried to keep everything consistent, and it has Christmas Fest somewhere on the flyer.
So is it on your Wolf Mountain?
wolfmountain.com.
Okay.
There is a tab that says Christmas Fest.
Okay.
And that's got the map that shows what spaces are available. And also the form to fill out.
Okay.
That basically, it just gives me like a business name, communication information, because I have been sending out emails to everybody.
Sure.
And then also kind of a little description of what you're going to be selling, because again, I want to showcase what you're selling. And it's got all of the flyers of all of the stuff that's happening that day. So, 55 plus vendors with spots for more. So that's the main focus of the event, which is absolutely incredible. The bakery is doing their cookies for letters to Santa with 2 free cookies with a cookie that's got Santa printed on it and Rudolph.
Love me some
There's
Rudolph.
4 different musicians that will be playing. Each of them are hours. So one starts at 10, one starts at 11, one starts
Okay.
at 12, and one starts at 1. So they will be done by 2:00 in the afternoon. 13 different Christmas themed characters that will be making an appearance. Santa, Mrs. Claus. Mrs. Claus will do pictures, but her main focus will be the cupcake decorating, which is really cute and exciting. And it's free of charge. they will sign up day of. We'll have a Wolf Mountain table over near where all of the character stuff is so that people can come, first come, first serve. But we'll do about 24 kids each sitting, so that way they can come decorate cupcakes with Mrs. Claus, get their picture taken with Mrs.
Love
Claus. Then we've got the characters that will be making appearances from 10 to 3. So again, Yukon Cornelius, the Abominable Snow Monster, Rudolph, Jack Frost, the Grinch, Cindy Lou Who, Martha May, the conductor from Polar Express, and then Heat Miser, Snow Miser, and Mother Nature. Deadpool will be doing his reading at 11:30 down near
Fun.
Dunham's. The Athens County Sheriff's Department will be there passing out the hot cocoa.
Does he have his little hand, Deadpool?
I don't know yet. He hasn't really told me much. All he asked was if I had "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" that he could borrow, which I do, and that's all I know.
Okay.
I mean, I will babysit.
We'll see what
him.
Deadpool you
right.
get.
I'm a little worried, but it'll be fine.
Deadpool. You
It'll
never
be,
know
it'll
what's
be great.
coming out
It'll
the
be
mouth.
wonderful. And then Peddler's Junction is doing their giveaways that day. Zones is working on what they want to do. Usually we are not open on Small Business Saturday, but they're going to open the store because this is going to be wild.
Can we talk about Peddler's Junction
Yeah.
for a minute? I think that's a place where, like, there's little.
Yeah, you can rent a booth in each of the.
I think one of my friends has a booth there where she goes. She is like has this spidey sense. Speaking of characters,
Right.
Where she can go to places and find like, or vintage,
Right,
like,
and that's what it is.
clothes and shoes and
So-
stuff. And I'm like, how do you?
I know
find
that
this
there's the
stuff?
one in Athens, and there's also one in, I always say it wrong, Lancaster,
Yes.
because I'm thinking Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But it's a vendor. It's an ongoing 7-day a week vendor fair. They rent out spaces, and you can sell your stuff. And what's really cool, and I don't know how they do it, but they do it, that you buy stuff, you bring it up, and you can get stuff from all these different booths, but they know which booth it's associated with.
Sure.
And they, I believe they get money back from each of their sales. So it's incredible.
It's win-win for everybody.
Right. And, you don't have to man your booth. They take care of it for you.
Yep.
I bought some stuff from there, and I kicked myself in the butt because 2 years ago they had Christmas blow molds in the back of the store. And I was like, no, I don't need any of those. I'm Christmas blow mold obsessed, to the point that we put them in every window in our building. And I have a 3-story building. So pretty cool. And I kicked myself in the butt because I didn't pick any of them up those days. And of course, 3 years later, surprisingly, they're not there anymore.
Right.
But it's a lot of fun, and they've got some really neat stuff. I've found some really cool things there. I would love to be able to walk around someday, but won't be until probably January.
Spare time.
Right. Yeah, no spare time.
Well, here's the deal. Christmas Fest will be going on this coming weekend at the Athens Mall. Y'all know where the Athens Mall is.
1002 East State Street.
State Street. Right behind the Texas
Road.
Roadhouse. Everybody can figure that part
Correct.
out. And this is going to be the perfect opportunity, number one, for you to have some feels and get into the Christmas spirit.
Right.
And number two, find some really great, unique gifts and support local artisans.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just wonderful.
Right.
And bring the kids.
Absolutely. It's going to be a full day, a fun day. And again, it's truly about, here's your time, Ohio. You always say shop local, support small business.
Yeah.
Here's one of your first days that you're going to be able to
Put
do
your
it.
money where your mouth is.
And it's just, there's so many things. And again, if you go to our Facebook page, Wolf Mountain Entertainment LLC, there's actually an album that says Christmas Fest, and it has all of these little clip art pictures that I made of all of the vendors and what they're going to be selling. So you can kind of do your research before you come, even though I'm so excited to just walk around and see what everybody's got, because
That's the best thing.
seeing all of what I've seen over the last, I'm like, this is cool. There's
Make an
so much
afternoon of it.
stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you for
Well,
having me
no,
here.
thank you. Come back anytime. I would
Anytime.
love to talk about Disney sometime.
Oh,
like, that's a whole other
I got
show
plenty
we can
of
talk
stories.
about.
Plenty
For
of
sure.
stories.
But yeah, come back, see us anytime, and thank you for doing
Thank
what
you.
you're doing. This
Thank
is
you.
amazing. Absolutely. So get to Athens this coming Saturday, and you will get your Christmas shop in well underway.
Well underway.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, our good friend Pete Wilson just walked in, which means we are going to do some news. So let's get to a message from our friends at Vinton County Bank, and we'll be back with Pete on the other side.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
All right, Pete is back in the studio, and we are going to do the news.
Okay. All right. Well, very good. As always, kind of a mixed bag, good and bad as we head into this holiday week, this short week for many folks with the Thanksgiving holiday on Thursday. Just want to say a little marketing thing. The papers will be on a regular schedule this week. They'll
Okay.
be coming out on Wednesday.
Yep.
And on Saturday.
Okay.
We'll still have some time off in there for the staff and like that, but the deadlines for some of the advertising and classified ads or whatever will be pushed forward to Tuesday afternoon instead of Thursday for the Saturday paper. On the news side, of course, we're going to try to work in advance, but we'll make sure we get the paper out and try to get the latest news in there.
I have no doubt.
Okay, well, speaking of the latest news, certainly a tragedy in Jackson last evening, just a horrible story in many ways. We do have that story out on our website with a link on Facebook. But the police were called, the Jackson police were called at 5:17 p.m. To the High Street Bridge over Salt Lick Creek. Now that is on the north side of town, the northwest side of town, in the block there between High Street and rather Main Street and Wood Avenue on High Street, North High Street. And this was a picture that Jeremiah Shaver took last night from his vantage point, as close as he could get. As you can see, police tape up activity taking place on the bridge. And police and other emergency responders who accompanied them soon to the scene discovered, the body of a man deceased who apparently had hanged himself there. Now, that is an initial assessment based on what they could see at the scene. No official determination there. An autopsy will take place at the Montgomery County Coroner's Office to determine if there were any other possible causes of death. But obviously, this is just a horrible thing. There are suicides that happen, much more than maybe we know.
Yeah.
Most of them, aren't in the paper or whatever. This one was, of course, a little bit different out there, on that bridge on a public street.
Sure.
I talked to Police Chief Brett Hinch last night on that. And, as far as they know, no witnesses or anything to this thing. No note was left or anything. It's just that it has all the appearances of being a deliberate act to take your own life. The name of the decedent was not released last night due to a notification of family and like that. Now, I will say this. Normally, the Telegram, everybody, all newspapers have their own policies. Editors have their own policies. I don't normally report suicides. This, of course, I thought was a little bit different.
Yeah.
People hear that there's a death or a body on High Street. So what happened?
Well, it makes people scared and worried.
Right. I thought something had to be reported there. We have taken some criticism for reporting this story, but the name of the person who will likely be released officially today, we're not going to publish that because that wasn't the point of doing the story. It was just trying to explain what awful thing
What the
happened.
hubbub was down in that area.
Because the street was closed, the Jackson police were there, the fire department was there, the sheriff's office was there, Jackson County EMS was there. Those are the ones that we know of. So
it's just so very ironic considering our discussion on Friday with the folks from OSU and the study that they're doing here in the area and all of that. I don't know.
Well, obviously, I know that you heard a whole lot about that, and there's been publicity about what's going on there with that research study.
Yes.
But obviously, this is something that, we're all aware of. We hear, but it might go in one ear and out the other ear, the problem with mental health, because it's hard to understand for some people how people could do this to themselves, rob themselves of the precious gift of life. But it can happen. It has happened, and it happens a lot more
than what you think.
Than what you might think. And there are people that contemplate it. And, when you're contemplating it, that's the next step before carrying through. So, I know that it dovetails with this open house that they're doing today and this ongoing research study. But once again, I think this was probably emphasized in your meeting. This isn't, if you're troubled or whatever and you have mental health issues, even though you privately feel suicidal, it would be a good thing to participate in this. But it isn't all about that. It's about everyday people who have no problems at all. They want to understand why some people have problems and some people don't have problems.
Right.
And maybe this might lead towards, a different approach towards treatment and intervention.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I was going to mention that again, near the end of my report. But that will take place at the Parks Edge Event Center
Tonight.
Yes, from 4 to 6 p.m. You can go in anytime and learn more about it. You can sign up to participate as a participant in the study.
Hey, you get paid to do it.
And you do, absolutely. You can get paid up to $325, I think. And, that's an incentive in and of itself. That's not why they're doing it, but, they want you to be, compensated for stepping
For your time.
forward.
I mean, it is going to be a little time consuming.
And being
Not a
involved
ton,
in that.
but-
And a program will take place at 5:30 p.m. in that last half hour of that event. So, good news. Gosh, we got to get to some good news. Our girl, McKenna Kraft.
Yes.
Have you heard what she did? She went to a collegiate tournament in Marshall, Missouri at Missouri Valley College. Now, I don't think that's a very big place. There is McKenna right there on the left, and she's with another young lady from Ohio who also got to the championship match. I don't know whether the other young lady who's from William Penn won her championship match, but I would tell you that McKenna Kraft did.
Yep.
Now, I followed up with Brandon Oliver, the wrestling coach, last night, and here's what he told me. First of all, McKenna is one of the elite wrestlers in the nation, and certainly in the state of Ohio. All she's done, for the uninformed, is win 3 state championships in a row in her weight division, which
she started as a freshman.
right now is 103 pounds, all right?
All 103 pounds.
All 103 pounds ever. But anyway,
She's mighty, though.
Right, McKenna has won 3 state championships. Will obviously be going for number 4 this year. But she went to this tournament. This was a collegiate tournament now. High school wrestlers could enter, but it was a collegiate tournament. Brandon Oliver, as much as he thinks of McKenna Kraft, said, we're probably going to go out there and we're going to get thumped, but we're going to learn what we need to do to get better.
Yep. Don't be afraid to lose.
To raise
your
our
learning.
level even more. You always want to go up against the best and push yourself no matter whatever level. Give her credit and Brandon credit for encouraging her to do this.
Yep.
But all she did was go over there and just beat the bejesus out of everybody.
She did.
Six matches. There is a picture. That's a triumph pose from last year's state tournament when Brandon lifted her into the air after she had just won the state tournament last year. But she, in 6 matches, and I think at least 3 of them were against collegiate competition. And when you're on the college level, you're older, you may be stronger, you certainly have more experience against college level competition. That's in high school. Suddenly, everybody's as good as you are, when you were in high school. So she went out there in this situation. And in 6 matches, she won 4 by what is called a technical fall. What that means is you score so many points and get so far ahead of them, they consider it a mercy rule. It's over. 2 other times.
That doesn't surprise me.
2 other
with
times
her.
she got the fall, which is a pin.
Yes.
That's where your shoulders are on the mat for a full second. And, that doesn't always happen. But she did that. So 6 matches, 6 dominating victories. What Coach Oliver said, that this whole thing was a testament to her hard work. She gets up at 4:30 a.m. to begin her first practice, and then a second one after school. Can you imagine? even if she didn't win a match, I couldn't be prouder of her preparation and, more important, the person she is becoming.
Yep.
Because, you always talk about the talent, the God-given talent, but, there's got to be a lot of hard work that goes with that and the drive to succeed, because you're always going to run into somebody better than you, and you want to keep climbing that ladder. And McKenna Kraft certainly did that. She was written up some posts in a couple of national and state publications after this, and one of them said this: Ohio's own McKenna Kraft wins it all at the Missouri Valley Open while still in high school. Way to go, McKenna. This young lady is a cold-blooded killer. I watched
You're
her.
not kidding.
I watched her compete all summer. She was one of my favorite ladies to be on the mat for. She is continuing to elevate her game to a whole new level. She is the real deal.
Yep.
So congratulations to McKenna Kraft. And obviously, when she does that, she brings a lot of credit, to her wrestling team, to the school,
Yep.
to her coach, to her community. And, all you have to do is look down there and see not only what she's done, but there is a pretty well-populated team of women's wrestlers now at Jackson High School.
This is
And
what I'm loving.
They're all pretty good.
Yes, they are. And Brandon, what a good coach that he is. But yes, getting those girls starting from the get-go, moving on up. McKenna, of course, is a great idol for them.
Right, absolutely.
And they have a lot to live up to.
Right. I mean, this is one of the. I know we're speaking here and now, and history goes back a long way in Jackson High School athletics. I'm not sure we've ever had a single athlete do so much, and she's got a year left.
I know.
To do it.
Yep.
3 state championships. All right. Okay, and now competing in a national tournament and turning heads there.
Yep.
Against older, more experienced competition. All right, the Christmas trees are up now in Pride Park in Wellston.
Awesome.
They went up yesterday, 100 trees there. Once
Oh
again,
my
they have sold out. And I dropped by on Sunday afternoon. A lot of people were already decorating their trees. And I believe we got a picture there, Adrian, of, okay, we're going to get her up. But anyway, I wanted to run this picture on TV because these are some of the folks who work behind the scenes to make it happen. The Ohilco Society, I'm not sure how many are in that, but, like a lot of things in small towns, a relatively few people do the heavy lifting, and that is certainly the case with the Ohilco Society. But these folks, there they are, they're standing in front of the big sign there, but there on the left, you see the husband-wife team of Dustin and Lexi Kaufman. And then you have the Ohilco Society president, Aaron Dupree, on the other side. He's been on TV.
Yep.
And that is Austin Peters, who was also there. They were almost reluctant to get their picture taken, but I said, hey, I need a scene picture, and you guys deserve the credit. So
Sure.
They might not like me saying this, but boy, they've done so much to make this happen. The Ohilco Society, they do the Ohilco Lights, which, by the way, are now on a statewide website from the Ohio Department of Tourism as one of the places to see holiday lights all over
yes,
the state. It's got
absolutely.
statewide recognition. It's on that trail like the Gallipolis City Park is. But anyway, they do the Christmas treats on Wellston Streets with the Ohilco Lights as part of. That will be next Saturday, by the way. We'll be talking more about
Okay.
that later.
Fun.
But then they also do, of course, the 4th of July celebration. And, of course, they do the Ohio Hill Country Festival. So anyway, all those trees are up. There is a waiting list for folks, if there's cancellations or whatever. We'll have trees and wreaths starting to come a little bit later in our other local places. Jackson's Manpower Park, the Christmas in the Park project that Barbie McCatherine Cultivating Our Future does. The deadline for trees to purchase trees was yesterday, so we'll see how that turns out. They will be lit on December the 7th.
Okay.
At Ohilco, it'll be this coming Saturday, the 30th, right after the parade, about 7 o'clock. Then in Oak Hill, they're doing wreaths instead of trees. But if you have your own tree, you can bring it, okay? And or you can bring your own wreath. But anyway, that'll also be on December 7th. And there is still, it's past the time to order a wreath through the Oak Hill Historical Society, but you can still bring your own tree or wreath, and there's time registration-wise all the way up to near December 7th when they'll do the lighting there.
Okay.
That'll be on December 7th. That is Christmas in the Village in Oak Hill. Oak Hill Historical Society, the Chamber of Commerce, the Village of Oak Hill, all involved in that. And then in Vinton County at the fairgrounds, Their deadline passed, I think, on Friday. That was for the Christmas tree display there at the fairgrounds that the Vinton County Agricultural Society does. Don't know how many trees they may have gotten. They couldn't get the fresh cut trees this year. They were in shorter supply this year. Somehow, I think they've got them in Wellston and Jackson. I think they had to travel a ways to get them, though.
Probably.
In Oak Hill, they went with wreaths instead, which is a neat alternative to do. But in Vinton County, I'm not sure how soon their trees will go up. Maybe they're decorating them now. I haven't seen follow-up posts. But their Christmas in the downtown celebration, not directly related to the tree display at the fairgrounds, will be also on December the 7th. So much more to come on
Lots of stuff going
on these
on.
celebrations. Really quickly, a couple other things to tell you. Of course, I told you about the SOAR open house. Once again, that will be at the Parks Edge Event Center from 4 to 6 p.m. You don't have to register ahead of time. It doesn't cost anything, and you can really do an important, not only community service, statewide service. This study that's taking place is a statewide thing.
Yes, it
It
is.
is huge.
Yep.
And they have agreed, and Holzer Health System is a partner. And this is something to really consider being involved in.
Yes.
The Jackson Area Family Activities Center, there's always been a Thanksgiving turkey trot. There's going to do it again. It's a
Yes.
5K run walk on Thanksgiving morning. Got to get up early. It's
Get
at
your
8
pumpkin
a.m.
pie.
Today is the last day to register online. Doesn't say that you can't walk in and register in person after this. I presume you can. If I'm not, I'm sorry, I'm misleading you. But if you're going to do it online, you need to do it no later than today. I'm sure that's for planning purposes. But that's coming up on Thursday. A big fundraiser also down at Oak Hill Elementary later today. It's the Festival of Trees. It's a big fundraiser for the PTO to help the students in the school.
Okay.
It'll be from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. A lot of trees that are decorated by the individual classes, I think, at Oak Hill Elementary, raises money for the PTO. And then at 6:45 p.m., after the food and the festivities and the other things they do, which I think is a whole slew of stuff, they always draw a great crowd. Patrick Ball will be there to do a live auction at 6:45 p.m. And I know there will be some valuable things for sale there. And one other thing, the Ohilco Society, I suppose they still could use some help with this. This would be a good cause. They need some donations to help pay for the LED lights that they're using this year at the park for Ohilco Lights.
Okay.
They are asking members of the community for donations of LED lights. Anyone wanting to help is encouraged to donate a box or two of lights to make the park brighter and better than ever before. Those lights can be dropped off at the Wellston Fire Station. And do it quickly because, they're already got the trees in the park. People are decorating. They've got the big Christmas tree light thing with the flagpole where at night
Yeah,
it looks
it's
like a
really
tree.
cool.
But they all did all that work yesterday. And so that's another way, I talked about how relatively few people do this work. This is a way to support them, donation of LED lights. They say, the Ohilco Society people I talked to yesterday said the payoff is when they see how happy they see that it makes people make another point of community pride for sure.
It
so,
is.
There you go. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
That's right. Well, Pete, thank you for coming in, spending your morning with us. And it was really fun finding out about the Athens Christmas festival that they're having this coming weekend as well. It will be
ho, all sorts of things.
exactly
Right?
all the stuff and things. So, all right. Well, have a great day, everyone. We will be back tomorrow with some more fun, and we appreciate you so much for tuning in. So, have a great day. We'll see you then. Bye bye.
From breaking news to heartwarming stories, the Telegram is your ticket to the latest buzz in town.
Read your daily dose of local headlines, sports, and entertainment and more in hand and on paper.
Get a print and digital subscription for only $7.95 per month. Delivered fresh every Wednesday and Saturday.
Visit thetelegramnews.com or call 740-286-3023 today.
Don't just read the news, be a part of it.